Internship II Final Presentation by Naomi Beckwith. This semester I had the opportunity to intern at Rogers State University in the Office of Academic Affairs, Accountability, and Academics. The mission of Rogers State University is to ensure students develop the skills and knowledge required to achieve professional and personal goals in dynamic local and global communities. What is now Rogers State University was founded in 1999 as the Eastern University Preparatory School. This closed down in 1917 and reopened in 1919 as the Oklahoma Military Academy. In 1971, the OMA was replaced as Claremore Junior College, providing associate degrees. In 1982, it was renamed Rogers State College. In 1996, it merged with the University Center at Tulsa and was renamed Rogers University. In 1998, it was renamed Rogers State University, and in 2000, it received its accreditation as a 4-year university. There are many reasons I chose RSU as my intern site. One was to gain experience and insight in the administrative side of a university, and also to improve my quantitative research analysis skills. My supervisor was Dr. Mary Milliken, the Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, Accountability, and Academics. I worked on the Claremore campus in Meyer Hall, and I usually was working in an empty office or conference room. While I quickly learned there is no typical day for Dr. Milliken, my days often consisted of analyzing or creating surveys, discussing ways to improve existing surveys, analyzing the results of surveys, reviewing department syllabi, discussing adherence of various programs to the university standards, and creating ways to improve student participation in events and surveys. During my time with Dr. Milliken, I had several goals I wished to achieve and many activities that I used to achieve these goals, one of which was to familiarize myself with psychrometrics and survey research, and this was achieved by assisting in implementing RSU surveys. Another goal was to familiarize myself with scientific research and methodology. Unlike in class, I had hands-on experience by analyzing raw data for surveys and studies. Another goal was to understand operations and accountability in academics. This was achieved by job shadowing and assisting in the execution of Dr. Milliken's daily tasks. And my final goal was to better understand student success planning, implementation, and evaluation. And this was done by assisting in implementing OAA strategic planning and sitting in on meetings and helping to brainstorm ideas. Some of the challenges I experienced while interning for Dr. Milliken included switching between tasks and not completing tasks before moving on to something new. This is something I had a lot of trouble doing at first, as I like to finish things or complete one thing before working on something else. Another challenge was the low number of survey replies, which made it very hard to analyze data or make it generalizable. And also finding novel ways to encourage student participation in surveys and activities. Some of the strengths that I had that I used during my internship was my ability to work independently. Oftentimes Dr. Milliken had meetings to attend or was out of the office and she left me tasks to complete. Another was that I am goal focused, and so when she left me these tasks, I could focus on getting them completed before she returned. Another strength was my analytical skills. I often enjoy analyzing data and trying to decipher meanings. And finally, the strength that I used was my research knowledge that I've gained during my time here at RSU. Some strengths that I gained during my internship was the ability to work on several projects at the same time. As I mentioned before, I like to finish one thing before moving on to the next thing, and it's not something I could always do when interning for Dr. Milliken. Another strength I gained was the ability to work with a team better. I'm often happier working independently, so I had to learn to work with a team or work with a group of people to come up with ideas. And finally, task switching, learning to switch at a moment's notice from one task to another. Often Dr. Milliken may come into where I was working and say, hey, I need you to work on this now. while I was trying to get something else done, so I had to learn to be able to switch between tasks quickly. Some of my accomplishments during my internship included restructuring surveys. I actually got to help Dr. Milliken develop a survey. Also, analyzing results from surveys. I've done that a few times in some of my classes, but this was actual survey results that were being used for programs. I also provided a student perspective for the surveys. I gave ideas as to how a student might read a survey and what might make them want to answer surveys more. Some lessons I learned was the reasoning behind administrative policies. Often as students, we think things are stupid or don't understand why the university has to do this or that. And it was really eye-opening to learn the reasons behind some of the things that are done. I also learned the purpose for so many surveys sent to students and faculty. They are used, the answers to those surveys are used to structure programs, what classes to keep, what schedules to keep. So it is very important to answer all of those surveys. I also learned that state guidelines to receive and keep accreditation and funding are also achieved through the student surveys because they let us know if goals are being met by the institution in order to receive those funds. Because I want to go into teaching at the higher education level and continue research in how to make programs better for individuals in higher education, my time interning with Dr. Milliken will help prepare me for my future goal of working with both faculty and administration at that university level. Individuals interested in interning with Dr. Milliken should realize that this internship is only ideal for individuals wanting to work at the college level in administration. One would also need to be flexible, enjoy research and survey analysis, and be able to work independently.